Hello students, today we will be discussing an important chapter in your business studies class 11 under chapter 11. Yesterday we did the class 1 discussions of the basics of your international business, what way it differs from the internal business, that is home trade, and what are the purpose or deficiencies or problems in the international business in comparison to your home business, that is your inland business, that is your local business. Today we will be discussing very important chapter, that is the technical issues on your export import procedure, very vital. So once you become export, automatically import is related for that. So that's why once you know the export formalities, import formalities will be little bit easier. So we'll understand that export procedure first we will discuss, because export means exporter importer both will be involved in this process. You know that. Again, you need not discuss more. Suppose you are in India, you are exporting with some other country, then what you have to do, whatever the ways you are doing in your local market, that will not be applicable, because as you have been discussing regular way, that exporting is little bit tough positions in comparisons with your inland transactions or inland business, because here everything you know, people know, in your bankers, in your suppliers also you can directly contact all those things. But here majority of the transactions will be done through documents only. So that's why documentation part or follow up the procedural formalities is very vital, because once you are exporting means your material is going to outside, and getting back the money also is very vital. And here all transactions, all documentation should be routed through your banker. Now we'll be going in detail one by one point wise. You see that under international business, export import procedure, today we will be discussing the export procedure. What does that export procedure? Under that it means steps for your export transactions are as follows. Which are the? First of all, you are to receive the receipt of inquiry and sending quotations. You are to receive the inquiry, means you being the exporter, and sending quotations. Inquiry means buyers send inquiry to different exporters. Suppose you being the importer, you are exporting from India, that outside country people importer, he sends the inquiry, just such and such type of product we want. Please send your quotation. Quotation is nothing but a particular of your rates, quantity, quality, etc. One document that shows your tentative intention to deliver those goods at what rate, so at what quantity, at what quality, all those things you have to do these things. So first of all, you receive the inquiry being an exporter sitting in India and sending quotation. Prospective buyers, that means importer will send the inquiry to different exporters, understands, requesting them to set the information regarding price, quality, etc. You are sending all details, you are informing to the quotations to the foreign buyer, that is the importer, that we can call here the pro forma invoice. What does that pro forma invoice contains? Pro forma invoice is not an invoice. It is one kind of quotations only. you know that invoice and pro forma invoice difference will be there, because invoice means after sale only, pro forma invoice nothing but a quotations only. This quotation contains your ready to sell the goods, what quality, quantity, grade, size, weight, mode of delivery, and making payments. See, whenever you are going to purchase something, you are to send what is your requirement, what size you require, what quantity you require, and what would be the quality of that material, and what would be the payment terms. All those things you are sending your offer, and your exporting firm sitting in India, they are giving reply in the form of pro forma invoice containing all the details of your material quantity, quality, grade, size, weight, mode of delivery, packing also very vital in international trade purpose, because you are not taking delivery by lorry or something, because here through shipping it will go, no, through ship. So this why this thing packing also very vital, and most important is your payment terms. Ultimately you have to get the money back once you export the same. See, once you being these things, send the quotation to your foreign buyer, that is importer, you are receiving the confirm order, what we can call the indent. These terms you have to keep in mind very carefully. You are receiving the order from your foreign buyer, that we can call indent. That order mentioning that thing, importing firms, that the buyers finds the export price and other terms and conditions acceptable to him, it places an order of goods to be dispersed. What kind of, see here quotations you are sending, then your foreign buyer accepting these terms, and he is sending the your delivery order. Their delivery order contents should mention this description of goods, what to be prices and delivery terms, packing, details of delivery instructions. You see, very simple. See, local transactions also more or less same thing going on, but this is some other way. Number 3 point is assessing the importer's credit worthiness and securing guarantee of. This is very vital point for exporting of goods. Once you are exporting, after that getting the payment back is very important. So if you are in documentation process, if you are any cautious approach, if some problem is there, tomorrow you will be getting problem to get the money back. What you have to make it, see, you have to see that how your payment is secured. That's why some kind of guarantee you have to take it. Exporters make necessary inquiry about the credit worthiness of the importer. You see, what does it mean, the credit worthiness? That means how he financially sounds, that he will have to ensure. Suppose you are sending a material of 10 lakhs rupees, you have to understand that your importer's financial strength or his limit with his bank is there or not, or whether he is capable to make the payment or not. All these things you have to know this thing very carefully and cautiously. Now you have to go to avoid risk of receiving payment. Exporters demand a letter of credit. What does that letter of credit? In short, we talk about LC. Letter of credit is nothing but to make the payment, to acceptance to make the payment after certain days. And LC is a guarantee issued by the importer that it will honor the payment up to certain amount against the export bills to the bank of the exporter. It is an undertaking between the importer's bank to the exporter bank with a guarantee that it will make the payment to the import it will be issued by the importer's bank only, between the two banks, and it will honor the payment of certain amount export bills to the bank of the exporter. You see, importer bank and exporter bank. Importer bank on behalf of the this thing importer issues a guarantee to the exporter banks that it will honor the payment on due date for certain amounts, say 10 lakhs or 5 lakhs. So that is very vital. If this LC is not there, tomorrow that foreign supplier doesn't make the payment, what will do? So you have to make sure that you have to satisfy with your future payment, you have to safeguard. Next, you have to obtaining the export license. You have to obtain the export license. What does that export license means? Steps relating to compliance of export regulations. See, today you are thinking tomorrow you cannot export it. So before exporting, you have to take an export license for that. So compliance of formalities, procedural formalities, you have to complain it. Obtaining pre-shipment finance, this is also very vital. You see that when you will send the material, how you will get the finance. So pre-shipment finance also very vital. Pre-shipment means against the confirm order, you have to arrange the fund. Based upon that fund, you can procure the raw material, arrange your labor and produce the goods. Once confirm order received, a letter of credit have been received. You see, confirm order backed by the letter of credit from the importer's bank to your banker. The exporter approaches his bank to obtaining pre-shipment credit. You see that very vital important issues. See, export order in hand and LC is hand. Against that, your banker will give some pre-shipment credit. Pre-shipment matlab before sending the material to preparation of the producing of the material, it would make some finance to undertaking export production, that is procurement of raw material and other related expenditure. So these are the things. So you have to keep in mind all these steps very properly, step by step, so that we will not miss anything, because export is you are sending overseas. So any material being sent with the international regulations, you have to follow for that. Tomorrow any importer doesn't make the payment, you are to very cautious about your documentation part, very carefully and cautiously. Then only you can get the money back. There should be the security of getting the money back. So up to that, obtaining pre-shipment finance we have discussed there. Now we will be discussing what would be there: production and procurement of goods. So this is the stage you have to produce the as per the requirement of your customers, that is importer. You are to get the goods ready as per specification. You have to get the goods ready. So this stage you are making your goods ready, you are making it. Now you have to do for these things your pre-shipment inspection. See, Government of India initiated many steps to ensure that only good quality of materials be exported. So then export quality control, and inspection act passed. So based upon that, Government of India, they have developed that many steps ensure that only good quality material should be delivered to that thing. So that you see here, exporting means one country's reputations also will be there before the foreign country. So export quality control and inspection act is there. So pre-shipment inspection they will make it, because as per the quality you are producing the goods or not. Because you see, in your home country returning is so easy, but when you are sending the material to a foreign country, returning also some, both the countries that understanding and your value and all those things are involved in this process. So that's why pre-shipment inspection is very vital for that. Now next step, what you have to do, you have to follow that excise clearances. See, excise clearances also required before you have to send the material as per Central Excise and Tariff Act. Excise duty is to be payable. Is to be payable on the materials used in the manufacturing of goods. So if the excise commissioner is satisfied that he may issue excise clearance. See, this excise clearance also an important document, because when you are exporting the material, because if you in your homeland you send this thing, so your home country excise department, they should know excise payment is there. But when it is being exported to outside country, your that Central Excise and Tariff Act wise excise duty you have to pay for the materials utilized for the export of goods. In that respect, you from a clearance has to be received from the excise commissioner. So this is one step you have to comply with it. This is the number 8 step. So you have to very careful about this point, because it is a totally in the technical issues for exporting of the goods. This is the excise clearance, we did it. Now we have to go obtaining certificate of origin. What does that certificate of origin means? So suppose any tariff concession or other exemptions are allowed, in such situation importer may ask the exporter to send a certificate of origin. See, what does that certificate of origin means? Suppose some particular product, some tariff concession or other exemptions are allowed. How it will be understood that? Then importer may ask the exporter to send up certificate of origin, so that he will be knowing that how much concession or how much exemptions that particular exporter is getting against that particular export, right? So now you have to go for next point. So that we are discussing reservation of shipping space. This is also very vital. See, when you are sending the material, through your outside country, you have to a space to be booked in advance. Which ship you have to be, when to be booked, whether specific space is there or not. So for that purpose, you have to apply to the shipping company. Then for space to be booked, what type of goods? Quantity, value, etc. to be mentioned for that. So that is the formality has to be complied with that stage. Now next step it were to make it your packing and forwarding. See, in your local transactions, packing may not be that important, but when you are sending through some outside country, your packing will be very vital, and that should be as per the specifications of the importer. Because in transit, if that packing formality is not complied as per terms of the order, if in transit any loss is there, that importer will not bear that loss. So goods to be properly packed and marked with necessary details. So this is also you have to see that your home country, when you are placing some order with Amazon or something like that. So when delivery is there, on that front of that your packing, the list will be there, what material is there, what quantity is there, everything will be there. So and the things post shipment here also with necessary details means name and address of the exporter, weight of goods, and post shipment destination. Okay, after post shipment, what will be the destinations where material will go, that also you are to mention there. Now next also another very important and vital point is that your insurance of goods. You know that there may be transit loss in your insurance, and that insurance terms also will be there in your purchase order. Then you have to comply with that. You have to insure your goods from insurance company, right? So next point is your customs clearance. This is also very vital. Customs clearance. Without custom clearance, you cannot ship the material. So thereby goods must be cleared from customs authority, in ship. So here document is the shipping bill. You have to make it ready, get clearance from customs office. See, unless until you get your material customs clearance, you could not get it, then you cannot ship your material in for your export purposes. Now next point is there. Payment of freight and issuance of bill of lading. You see, you are to make the payment of freight. You are booking the material, no, for your ship. So you are to make the payment. So for that purpose, this important document is your bill of lading. Here you are to that CFN agent. Clearing and forwarding जो agent is there, no? Agent surrenders the mates receipts. What does that mates receipts? Mates receipts is nothing but that payment has been cleared towards the freight. So then the issues the bill of lading by the shipping company. See, why you are to make all these documents? When you are to send the material, all these documents you are to enclose, because all documents you are to send to your bank, to the alternative bank, opponent side, that is importer's bank. So then only you are ultimately you have to receive the payment back, no? Then next step is your preparation of invoice. See, you have to make an invoice with the quantity of materials and the rate, quantity, rate you have to make. Then CNF means clearing and forwarding agent. Clearing and forwarding agent will attest from the custom. So once is being attested by customs, then you will get the clearance for preparations of invoice stages. Clearance will be there. That means this will be countersigned by the customs authority. Now securing payment. This is also very vital stage and you have to keep in mind very properly. The exporter informs to the importer that goods are shipped importer needs various documents. Then bill of exchange, here one important document he will have to prepare. Bill of exchange means it is not that I will pay certain amount of money after certain date. So this bill of exchange to be issued or created by the exporter and it should be accepted by the importer. You see that here two things are there. This bill of exchange, if it is against side, two types of are there: against side, against acceptance. If it is under against side, that bill of exchange, document are handed over only against payment received. See, at site, you need not wait for that. Once and you are receiving the payment and documents are being given that thing. Documents are handed over. And against acceptance, if that type of bill of exchange, what you have to do? Documents are handed over. Only after acceptance of bill of exchange. See, this is very vital in technical part. So what way you are making the bill of exchange, whether it will be at site or whether it will be against acceptance, that you have to know very properly, because in future you cannot make it, get it rectified or something like that. So finally exporter bank receives the payment from the importer's bank. So this is the formality you have to make it. Here one more thing is there. See, you have to step by step, you have to recapitulate and keep in your memory, because this is little bit lengthy process of your export. So we have to, one go you have to complete, otherwise we cannot make it continuity. Here one stage is letter of indemnity to be submitted to get the payment from the bank as per exchange control regulation So you have to make a letter of indemnity to your banker as per exchange control regulation, and finally you are receiving the payment. So you see that this chapter is a little bit lengthy. We have to discuss for that, because one go we are completing the export, in another class is required for your import formality. So you understand that to do the business with your homeland, how it is easier in comparison to the outside. More or less these processes are almost same, but little bit extra processes are there. But since you are sending outside states, outside your border of any country, so all your foreign countries formalities, rules and regulations, especially you should make the comply starting from the production process to shipping, to ensure production, to send the material, send all these documents, and more particularly the receiving the payment, how you have to more cautious, because any sale transaction risk will be there as regards payment. So you have to ensure that you, before being exported, you have to ensure your payment. Otherwise, if payment is stuck of some reason or some deficiency of your document, it will be very, very difficult to rectify those documents and collect your payment. So this is the thing you are to read in thorough way, and you understand that any questions may come. If you do have a thorough understanding, you can easily answer for that. We will be concluding the video today here, and one more day we will be discussing for the import procedure purposes and the documentation process also. One more lecture we will be taking. If you think that my discussion has some value, has some material, please do subscribe to my channel, so that I will be highly motivated to bring more some videos before you and your exam purposes. I give you confidence that you can get good marks in your business studies, because see, this is a theory, but theory backed by some technicalities in between. So you have to technical point, you have to understand properly, and you have to write the question brief and to the point. Just story you don't write it. So we are concluding the video here. Have a good day.